How are we doing? Alright, it's my privilege today to be speaking to you here. And first I would like to thank Mrs. Tuoro for giving me this opportunity during the Māori Language Week, wherever she is. Give her a round of applause. So thank you. And I'd like to thank our principal, Mrs. Jill Lilo, for giving me the opportunity to teach at this school. Thank you. So yeah, I'm very glad to be here today and talk to you. I've always wanted to practice public speaking, and this will be my first time, so thank you for being my audience. Here's a poem from Tupac Shakur. He describes youth that grow up in hard times as roses that grow in concrete. So, for some of you that grow up in hard times, you are that rose that grows in the concrete. And it's going to be a very difficult road. And but what I can see already is that a lot of you are already making it through. And so you are making cracks in the concrete and growing where you're not meant to go. So I just wanted to say that it is an honor to teach you all because you all grew up in hard times. So thank you. And the whole purpose of education, in my opinion, is a discovery of yourself. So I read a lot of research that claims that youth today, even when I was young and before, generation before, youth are suffering an identity crisis. And identity is, this is all new knowledge to me, but apparently identity is the most important thing you can discover for yourself. Just like our assembly last week, or the chapel last week with Mr. Kolomatoni, when he shared his identity, that is a sacred thing. And you could feel it as he was giving his speech, the mana that he had it when he showed his identity. And so what I'm showing you now with these pictures is a little bit of my identity, which I've only really just discovered recently. Didn't really think it was that important. But so, when you're educating yourself, you get to discover what you're good at. So if you don't try, then you'll never know what you're good at. Just an example, some of you could be a good writer, but you didn't do your English paper, so you never knew if you were going to be a good writer. Some of you could be a good rugby league player, but you would never know because you never kept training. Some of you could be an innovator or an engineer, and you could create the next iPhone, but you'll never know because you never studied for your physics exam. Some of you could be anything, and you're here to practice your art, practice lots of different things, and then find out if you're good at it or not. And then if you're good at it, you can use it. So just get involved with all the things at school. Get to know yourself, because when you're learning about yourself. And on top of all that, you're going to need your education anyway. Your education is actually going to impact our whole nation, because when you grow older, you're going to be an adult in our community, and your education is going to be what it's going to help you to discern information. So it's going to help you to make critical judgments out there. And there's a lot of like for science, there's a thing called pseudoscience, and that's basically just fake science. And so there's a lot of fake science out there. And if you didn't participate in your science class in school, when you go out in the world, you're going to be faced with science problems, and you're going to be vulnerable to just fake news, right? So your education is basically going to protect you from just any kind of nonsense that you might get involved with. So bit of my past identity. So right now you see me as a teacher with a beard and long hair, but before I had short hair, walking, like marching and, military styles. So that's, one thing about identity is that it's always changing. So as you go through your journey to discover yourself, your identity will always change. And so just be aware of that, because a lot of people, they think that this is who I am, this is who I'm going to be, and this is me forever. But you can always change, right? So yeah, back to education. So the things that you're going to get from your education is you're going to need all the skills you need, or you're going to need all the skills you gain in the classes, just like in social studies and history. You're going to gain critical thinking skills that are going to help you to fight poverty and homelessness and crime and discrimination. And that's going to make our world more fair and more free. You're going to learn problem-solving skills in maths and science that's going to help the world rid us of cancer and diseases and develop new electricities. Because right now, if you haven't heard about it, the world is going through a crisis where all our energy is polluting the air. And it's going to be up to the next generation to find solutions to that. And you're going to need those skills that you learn in maths and science. And you're going to need the creativity and use your ingenuity to create new companies, because at the end of the day, all of you want to be the boss. Whenever I talk to you, you sound like you want to be the boss and the leader of your own company. So you're going to gain all the skills you learn in school is going to help you to do that. And when you create a new company, you create new jobs. And when you create a new job, you're going to boost our whole economy of New Zealand. And actually, on that fact, your education is going to help the whole of the Pacific. Like for me personally, I see the Pacific as one whole nation. And sure, New Zealand is where we base our home. But the whole Pacific is what, at the end of the day, is what you're going to be working for. So you're going to be working to protect the Pacific. And that's your responsibility, yeah? When you get older, this is our home, the Pacific, every single island, we're going to protect it. Because there will be other people that will come and take it from us. And without your education, it's going to be a hard battle. That's my last photo. Thank you for letting me talk. God bless you all. God bless the Pacific.